Hello students, now today we'll learn our point 9.3, a journey through different habitats. Some terrestrial habitats. Deserts. We discussed the abiotic factors of a desert and the adaptation in camels to this. What about other animals and plants that are found in deserts? Do they have the same kind of adaptation? There are desert animals like rats and snakes which do not have long legs, so that the camel has. To stay away from the intense heat during the day, they stay in burrows deep in the sand, and these animals come out only during the night when it is cooler. Look at here. Snake and rat lives in burrows at daytime, and they comes out only during night when there is a cooler. Okay, now this is some typical plants that grow in desert. Look at here. What is the speciality of it? It is very small leaves, or most of the leaves converted into spines. Why? Because what is the function of the leaf? Transpiration. Okay, through transpiration the water comes out. So to if the leaves are small, then very less amount of water comes out. Okay, and photosynthesis process takes place by the stem. Okay, so the stems are mostly in green in color. Look at here, and it has also thick and waxy layer on it, and its roots are deeper to absorb water. Desert plants lose very little water through transpiration. The leaves in desert plants are either absent, very small, or they are presented in the shape of spines. This helps in reducing loss of water from the leaves through transpiration. And photosynthesis in these plants is usually carried out by the stems. The stems is also covered with thick waxy layer which helps to retain water. Most desert plants have roots that go very deep into the soil for absorbing water. Now next, mountain region. Now look at here the shape of the tree of mountain region, and just think. Okay, these habitats are normally very cold and windy. In some areas snowfall takes place in winter. Okay, so there is a large variety in trees which we can find here. Okay, however, see that these trees are normally in cone shaped. Okay, and have sloping branches. These leaves of some of these trees are needle like helps. Why it has the sloping branches? Because this helps the rainwater and snow to slide off easily. Okay, now look at here. This is the leopard, snow leopard, yak, and goat, mountain goat. Okay, see, all these animals have very thick layer of fur on their skin to protect from the cold and snow. Okay, and also the mountain goat has very strong hooves to running up the rocky shapes. Now grassland. Now first look at the color of the grass in the grassland areas and color of the deer and lion. Okay, it is matched with the grassland grass to adapted their habitat. Okay, it is light brown of color, whose color lions helps to hide in dry grassland when it hunts for prey. Prey means animals to eat. The eyes in front of the face allow it to have a correct idea about the location of its prey. A deer is another animal that lives in forest and grassland. It has strong teeth for chewing hard plant stems of the forest. A deer needs to know about the presence of predators, animals like lion that make it their prey. In order to run away from them and not become their prey, it has long ears to hear movements of predators. The eyes on the side of its head allow it to look in all directions for the danger. The speed of the deer helps them to run away from the predators. So understood? According to their places, they have their body structures. Okay, that is why, because they adapted to their habitats. Now about some aquatic habitats. Already we discussed about the fish. It has a streamlined shape. Okay, and gills helps to receive or oxygen from the water. Okay, but some animals like squids and octopus which do not have streamlined shape, so they stay deeper in the ocean and they near the seabed and catch and prey that moves toward them. However, when they move in water, they make their body shape streamlined. These animals have gills to help them use oxygen dissolved in water. Also, there are some sea animals like dolphins and whales. They do not have gills. Okay. So, how they breathe? They breathe in air through nostrils or blowholes that they are located on parts of their heads. This allows them to breathe in air when they swim near the surface of water. They can stay inside the water for a long time without breathing. They come out to the surface from time to time to breathe in air. Now about ponds and lakes. Some of these plants where at ponds and lakes have their roots fixed in the soil below the water. In terrestrial plants, roots normally play a very important role. Okay, absorption of nutrient and water from the soil. However, in aquatic plants, we know the what is the function of the roots? Absorption of nutrients and water from the soil. But in aquatic plants, roots are much reduced in size and their main function is to hold the plants in place. The stem is also hollow and light and long. Which plants? Plants which grow in ponds and lakes. Okay. The surface of water, while the leaves and flowers float on the surface of the water. Some aquatic plants are totally submerged in water. All parts of such plants grow underwater. Some of these plants have narrow and thin ribbon-like leaves. This can be bent in flowing water, and in submerged plant, leaves are often highly divided through which the water can easily flow without damaging. Now about frog. Frog can live in water and also on the land. So frog is usually have ponds as their habitat. Okay, so how it can? Because they have strong back legs that helps them in leaping and catching their prey. They have webbed feet which help them in swim water. Okay, now for today's session this much is okay. In the next session we will discuss more about 9.4 characteristics of the living being. So please read the chapter, and if you have any query you can ask in the Google Classroom. Okay, thank you.